Hey, welcome. Welcome to Cars, Golf, and Cigars, y'all. What's happening? I'm your man, Kadon Sterling, and happy 2021. Happy 2021, people. Y'all ain't excited, y'all need to be. If y'all ain't enthused, y'all need to be. If y'all not ready to go and go get it, y'all need to be. But happy 2021. Let me fix this collar right here because it's coming out of place. All right. Number one, thank everybody. Thank everybody for sticking with Cars, Golf, and Cigars all through 2020, through 2019, through 2018. We coming up on our third year. So thank everybody for subscribing to the channel. Thank everybody for supporting the channel, supporting the merchandise, just supporting my movement. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. Keep subscribing. Keep telling everybody about us. Keep hitting that like button, you know, because we here and we're about to go so far. We're about to go so far this year, and I'm so excited. But today, while we are here, we are going to absolutely have a cigar conversation with this pure Hennessy Cognac 54 by 5.5 gauge from Rosario's in New York, from the Bronx. If you're into infused cigars, you have got to get your cigars from Rosario. No, Rosario is not sponsoring this episode. I just really I spend a lot of money with Rosario's, and I put everybody onto them. So while we having this cigar review, we're going to have a conversation about the future. And the future, ladies and gentlemen, is all about autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars. Right now, the technology leaders is, if I just want to remember correctly, Mayo, Argo, AI, Mobile Light, GM Cruise, and Tesla. But you know what? They're all going to have to move out the way because there's somebody else coming for them. There's a big boss coming from them, and her name is Apple. Stick with me. Hey, welcome back to Cars, Golf, and Cigars. This is your man, Kadon Sterling, and I am coming to you today from my classic 1998 740 IL Big Boss BMW. Yes, 1998. I love this car. She's still in restoration mode right now, so you might see some boxes behind me and some things like that. But she won't be done till probably August or September because I'm going to take my time with her. It's all about cars, golf, and cigars, you know, and this summer we'll be on the golf course. But later for that. Right now, we didn't have a conversation about the future, about this new Apple car while we burn this Hennessy pure white cognac. Oh, my God. Definitely a Connecticut blend when it comes to the leaf. I don't know how long they infuse this for, but I'm going to assume at least 3 months at a time before they package this up. This is a quality cigar. Now, is it for everybody? No. Everybody's not into infused cigars. There's times when I'm not. There's times when I'm really a Maduro guy, and I don't even want it infused. I just want it heavy, you know, and I want to enjoy it with a cup of Java. But let's get back to the topic. We get back to the cigar all day. But let's get back to the topic. And the topic is Apple, the new Apple car. The release for this vehicle, we're looking at 2023 to 2025. So we still got about 4 years, easily 4 years before this car comes out. And there's a reason for that. They've been working on this car for so long. They've been actually working on this car since 2014. All right. Now, this is what Apple has done because they're very smart. They saw the lane and they sat back and they waited and they waited and they waited because they wanted to do it right. So what they do, they get one of the best engineers, a gentleman by the name of Steve Zadesky from Ford, who's now Apple's vice president. They went and got Johann Wunschford, hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly because it's German, but he was the leader of everything basically from Mercedes, you know, especially when it comes to research and technology research, when it comes to the brand, when it comes to almost everything. In Germany, he was they dude, all right? He was the president of Mercedes, and they went and got him. So you get an American engineer, you get a German to actually put everything together, because to make this car possible, you have to have the leaders in technology, and you also have to have the leaders in manufacturing for cars. Apple is not a manufacturer for cars. We don't make cars, we make tech. But now we're going to get the people who do make cars, and we're going to incorporate them with our business, and we're going to get the best. And they also settled down and shook hands and made a deal with Volkswagen, which is also Germany, which is also Porsche. The same people that make Volkswagens, the same people that make Porsche. So you want to put the luxury, the performance, but you definitely want to be what you are, the leader in tech. And think about it. If you Apple, there are more people on this planet with iPhones than it probably is people that drive. Because people that don't drive have iPhones. You already have your audience. You already have your sales market. You already have people to sell to. You have your platform already. It's ingenious. So they sat back since 2014, and Tim Cook has been, first he was denying it. Oh, it's just something that we're working on. It might be a concept, but we're not really, now there's no denying it. They're going in. And they're going in because of the success of Tesla. Now, on Elon Musk's credit, he took this vehicle, this imagination of having an electric car, which is wasn't his brainchild. Okay, they've been thinking about this since the 30s and 40s, but he took this and he made it the #1 selling electric vehicle on the planet. Period. There's over 1 million Teslas sold. So it makes sense for Apple to create another revenue of income. And that's by making cars. Now, the thing about this is what we got to understand, people, is the fact that we're actually looking at two conglomerates chasing the future. Yes, they're chasing the Jetsons, to make it very plain for y'all. This is what they're chasing. This is what it's coming down to. Cars like mine, like the 98s and all, I like older cars that have value. Will never be a thing of the past. But it's just going to make it better for collectors, because the future is going towards autonomous vehicles. It's going towards self-driving vehicles. Now, what we have to think about is a couple of things. The trust factor of the vehicle, because Tesla came out, hit the street running, but then they had a few setbacks with a couple of accidents that was fatal. That hurt their brand, that hurt their stock. But they're still the leaders in it, because the bottom line is the more cars they sell, the better they get. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying like this. Everything with to do with electric cars have to do with technology. It has to do with if the car cars that are autonomous cars, autonomy cars, the cars that can self-drive. It has to do with the fact if the car can actually perform safely without a driver ever touching the wheel or any of the pedals or giving it any instructions besides giving it the address of where this vehicle needs to be, right? So that's the key. Now, in Phoenix, the company like Mayo, they already have cars out there in a small section in Phoenix that are self-driven vehicles. They're almost like cabs and shuttles and things like that. But they keeping it to like 12, 13 square blocks where the vehicle knows everything. The key to this, though, is to have a vehicle that can predict or react for when a road changes. What if in the car's computer it has a stop sign, but there's no more stop signs there? What if there is an accident? What if there's a detour? This is the key. Now, how Tesla has evolved with that is the fact that if you buy Teslas, you'll see that in the rearview mirrors, they have cameras. I mean, there's cameras all over the car, right? But they have cameras that act like your eyes. And the car actually watches the driver's eyes while the car is driving as well to see exactly the reaction of how the driver drives. And it remembers that. They have a software in their system called Shadow. And shadowing is basically that the car can remember everything that the driver did and the reaction of the driver and send that information, back to Tesla. So therefore, they can make more cars react naturally how the driver will react. I don't know if a lot of drivers know this, but yes, if you have a Tesla, you're being monitored. Absolutely. You sign an agreement, even though you don't know you signed an agreement, that your car is going to be monitored for tech study. And it's all for Tesla. That's why the more cars they sell, the better the cars are now. Like if you bought a Tesla now, it's honestly better than the one you bought 4 years ago. Honestly speaking. Apple is brilliant because Apple is saying, y'all do everything. Y'all make all the mistakes. We're going to come in and we're going to capitalize on every mistake that y'all made by making a much better vehicle than y'all. Now, if you don't even understand how good this pull is. This pull is amazing. Like this, and like I said, I'm a Rosario fan, but if they have a cigar that's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. This is not trash. This is a daily. This is honestly a 2 cigar a day stick. Yes, yeah, I like this a lot. Yeah, but I'm gonna get off the topic. Now back to what I was saying. To even do this, you have to understand, you need what Apple has. You have so much expendable income. Expendable income. They have put already $100 billion, excuse me, $100 billion into doing this. No one spends $100 billion on a concept. And most concepts are made to become reality. So no one's going to do that. So Apple has already put out $100 billion to get this car the way it's supposed to be. And that's why they're taking their time. And they're taking their time because they really wanted to get into the biggest part of this business when it comes to electric cars, and that's the battery. People don't realize the battery. Okay, right now, the one that they're considering, or the one they're going to use, is the lithium iron phosphate. I'm going to mess that last word up, but I know that's what it is. It's a PHO something, phosphate. But that battery right there, if you Google it, you look it up, that battery is easily a $400 to $500 to $1,000 battery, according to whatever the wattage is and according to whatever the volts are, because that's the reason why these cars can go for so long and so many miles and have such a big range. It's much bigger than what we think. It's all about the stock in that company too, because if Apple, and they already have, if Apple already signs an agreement with them to use that specific battery, they're going to get the better version of that battery than Tesla already has in their vehicles. And I believe the company is LFP, if you're looking them up on the stock market or what have you. But that battery is going to, that's a $1 billion company now because of the electric industry, electric car industry. So this is why I'm saying Apple has absolutely become a powerhouse. And this is another reason why the government can't stand them too. Because they are a powerhouse. Tim Cook knows exactly what he has. He has so much expendable income. He has so many resources, and he has the power to take the best of the best of the best of the best from every industry and hire them and have them work with him. Of course, with non-disclosure agreements. So, and they've already bought out, not really buy it, but they leased out a warehouse out in California, of course, where they're from, where they're located, just for the manufacturing of the new Apple car. I'm excited behind it. I really am. I want to see the competition. I want to see when it hits the streets in 2025, 2024, 2023, whenever they do it. I want to see, because they're making about 2 or 3 different models. And the greatest thing about what they're doing, they're very smart. Like I said, they've already seen what Tesla's done. Number one, they're using the same company, Mobileye, to give them that technology. Mobileye is the number one technology company when it comes to how cars, computer-wise, can see and predict what's going on. Can see and predict. And they was bought by Intel, because Intel wants to use them. And Mobileye was already bought by Intel for almost 13 or 14 billion dollars. That means this is big business we're talking about. This is a huge industry. So I'm excited behind it, and I think people should too. Now they're coming out with 3 different vehicles, or 2 or 3. I know they're coming out with one that's going to be called the iCar, and their main production vehicle that's going to hit the streets is the Titan. That's going to be the breadwinner right there. The iCar is going to be smaller. The Titan is going to be the big boy with everything. Well, all of them are going to have everything, but that's going to be the showpiece more than anything. So think about it like that. This way they can compete with the Model 3s, the Model Ys, the Model S's. Of course, sooner or later, they're going to come out with their own brand of SUV from Apple. I'm sure they're already thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why they're waiting so long to actually release this vehicle. Now, as of today, there is no actual spec on the car of speed, performance. Only thing that we do know is that the color specs is probably going to be one in all white and one in, I believe, a gray and black. But there's a couple of images that I'm going to have right up here, and you'll be able to check it out for yourself. Those are the things we do know. So unfortunately, no, we don't have the Apple car in front of us where we can go to the Apple store, or you can't even order it. You can't get an allocation for it. There is no VIN numbers for it, nothing like that as of yet. But there will be. In another year and a half, I'm sure, a year and a half to two, they will be putting out allocations and giving people open allocations to order the vehicle. Now, what the public is concerned with is pricing. We'll pause for a second to appreciate this right here. What the public is concerned with is pricing, right? So price-wise, you figure like this. If you get a Model S Tesla, starting around 70 grand, if you get the one with everything, the tri-motor performance, of course, the much bigger battery, the more horsepower, that particular model actually does 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. That's insane. And the top speed on that car is 200 miles per hour. That's insane for a four-door vehicle that has no engine. That's Ferrari numbers and better. McLaren numbers and better. So I'm going to assume, that Apple is not going to make a vehicle that is going to kill the public, even if they went overpriced, they would still sell, they would still win. Let's think about it. Every iPhone is overpriced. Every Apple AirPods are overpriced. Quality, not saying it's not quality, but they're overpriced. Let's be honest about it. They can do that because they know they have the audience and they have the customers that's going to support it regardless, because they need it. And they're going to treat that vehicle the same way they treat the phones after a while. You're going to be looking for the next generation. You're going to be looking for the next generation. You're going to be looking for the next generation. Apple does have a monopoly when it comes to certain things. But stick with me. Check out these images right here and let me know what y'all think. All right. Okay, we're back. Don't forget to leave comments below. Let me know what you think. Give me everything. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear about the people that are definitely pro Apple and pro this new Apple car. And I also want to hear from the people who's not, because there are some people who's not. There's people who just don't really like the brand or don't like the concept. There's some people that don't like the fact that cars are using batteries and, EVs and BEVs and things of that nature. So I want to hear from everybody. Everybody's opinion means something. All right. Now, back to this cigar, because we're about to close this one out real quick, because we already finished the first third. We right in the middle. And, I like to call it the middle, the soft spot, the sweet spot, right? It gets better. It gets better. It gets truly better the more you smoke it. Man, 2021. That's all I can say. I'm so excited. It gets a lot better the more you smoke it. Now, that's a quality stick. When the stick actually gets better the more you smoke it. Some sticks kind of calm down. Some sticks flare up. They get harsher. This is getting smoother while I'm smoking it. Definitely. hit them up. Look them up online, RosarioCigars.com. Look them up. They ship. And like I said, they're not sponsoring this. I just particularly like their stuff. So I spend good money there, and they're not expensive. They're not. This stick right here was this is a $10 stick. This is a $10 stick. All right, everybody doesn't have it where they're going to go out there and drop $25 on a stick. This is a $10 stick, and this is worth it. Okay, now back to what I was saying about Apple. In my opinion, the one thing that Apple is missing out on is the fact that with their technology, with the way Apple is set up, with the way Apple is, and everybody knows, I got an Apple phone too, I got an iPhone too. Everything, I just want to know, are they going to run the tech system inside the vehicle the same way they run your car? I mean, the same way they run your phone, where everything is a monopoly. You got to pay for everything with Apple. Almost every app. Most apps are free, but a lot of things with Apple, they're not like Android. You got to pay for something. All these passwords and all these codes, and it's constantly, you put this code in for this, put this password. Are they going to link everything? And I'm going to assume they are. I'm going to assume as soon as you get in the car and you have an iPhone, everything from your iPhone should be on your Apple Play inside the vehicle. Just like it would, like most BMWs, Cadillacs, a lot of them, who, if you have Apple CarPlay, whatever's on your phone is on there too. But if you get locked out of something, or if you have to change a code or something, do you have to go back to the Apple store? What's the customer service going to be like for this? How are they going to work this when people do have problems with their device? Now, if the phone goes down, is your system in your car going to be a problem? These things is what I'm concerned about. Those type of things. Or they're going to have what I'm sure they thought about it, where they have all that stuff completely separate, where you don't have to worry about that, because that is a concern. At least it is for me. I'm not saying that I actually want to purchase one of the vehicles. I've seen them just like everybody else. I think the design on 2 or 3 of them is beautiful. But everybody knows that Apple is such a conglomerate monopoly that if anything goes down with your phone any kind of way, how does that affect me if I'm in my Apple car? If I'm in that Titan? And that Titan, I know it has to sell for $100,000. They're gonna have to put that car out at $80,000 starting, probably $100,000 by the time you finish doing all the options. Because whatever that car is, or however that car is going to be fully done, it's going to be faster or just the same amount of speed as a Tesla. It's going to be better than the Tesla. That's the bottom line. It will be better than Tesla because they have all the advantages of seeing everything Tesla has failed on, and they can capitalize on it. And they will. My only concern is that part of Apple, where if something goes wrong, or you forget a password, or forget a code, or forget this, or forget that, how does that affect the driver experience of this vehicle? How does that affect the driver just from being in his car or her car and things go wrong? Do I have to purchase more things once I already bought this very expensive electric vehicle? What else? And once I get in the car, what my packages are going to be like? What else am I paying for? So those are the concerns that I actually do have when it comes to Apple. Are they going to nickel and dime you after you buy this vehicle? Let's hope not, because right now, Apple is just like Starbucks. It's like a cult. It really is. Tesla is getting very close to that cult type situation too, because people who love their Teslas love their Teslas. But it's like a cult. People that's with Apple has been there from teenagehood till adulthood now. There's teenagers that started off with Apple, and now they've never left, because now you want the 12, you want the 14, you want the 16. They can go on and on and on and on. And I'm assuming they're going to put the same kind of marketing strategy towards this vehicle. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. And let's see how this turns out. Let's see what goes on with it, right? But either way, I'm your man, Kadon Sterling. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Tell everybody about cars, golf, and cigars. It is 2021. and we are here, and we're going to have a great time. Stick with me. Stick with me. Thank y'all.